first off, one of the big successes of the tour and of the summer overall was projecting a sense of competence. And it's one of the hardest brand attributes in opposition to really build up. You're not running the government, you're not running anything other than a leader's office and a tour. But other than a little hiccup on the first day, there was a real sense that they knew what they were doing. They were in control of agenda. The whole tour had a professionalism and a slickness that had been missing from the Liberal Party for a couple of years. The flip side is Stephen Harper and his government looked incompetent. And for conservative governments around the world, when you lose that competence brand, you have a really tough time staying in government. So I think one of the keys for the Liberal Party going into the fall is to continue to project a sense of competence for the opposition, build Michael Ignatieff's competence as a potential prime minister in waiting, as a party project competence, and obviously hammer Stephen Harper and his government for incompetence. Trying to shift that competence brand numbers, I think if I were running Michael Ignatieff's office, would be one of my big objectives for the fall. The biggest issue or the biggest challenge for the Conservatives is still to come. The Auditor General is going to be coming out with her report in October about stimulus spending, and it's widely expected that the government's going to be hit very, very hard for mismanagement, misspending, misappropriations of those funds. Not misappropriation in terms of giving to friends, but in terms of not getting into the hands of where it needs to be. Again, if you accept that competence is a brand attribute that the Conservatives, both here in Canada and around the world, just can't lose, has the potential to be devastating for the Conservative Party, and also happens to be the Auditor General's swan song. Where Michael Ignatieff has been strongest from a communications perspective is where he's had very clear, very unambiguous policy statements. I would expect in the fall that Michael Ignatieff and his new justice critic is going to start taking some very clear, very unambiguous opposition statement positions to some of the crime legislation. I think that will be effective in terms of building that support. You know, now that the Liberals have gotten back over 30% or right at 30% in most polls, the next job is to build that next 5% of support. Start growing the base, start reaching people who did vote for Jean Chrétien, did vote for Paul Martin in 2004, but for a variety of reasons either stayed home or switched to who they were voting for in the last couple of elections. And I think starting to take clearer positions on very strategic, select positions is the best way for them to be able to do it.